Hello, everyone. It is another BamBAEzled day. Welcome to the show. This week, the letter I'm reading inspired me to start another series, and it is going to be a series on emotional abuse. Let us get into today's episode.
Now, let's figure out if you're being BamBAEzled.
Welcome. Our BamBAEzled days, where we help you uncover the truth behind your relationships. I am your host, Annie Itcher. Let's get into it. We're going to start with defining emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is a form of manipulation and control that can and will leave very deep scars. It includes behaviors like gaslighting, belittling, and constant criticism that wear down a person's self-worth, self-esteem, and erodes their identity. Emotional abuse can and does have long-lasting effects on a person's mental and emotional health. So, how do you know if what you're experiencing is emotional abuse? Let's break it down. There are many definitions, but they all boil down to essentially the same thing, which is this. It is an attack, a targeted, intentional, consistent attack on a person's emotions and their mind with the intent to break that person down. That's what emotional abuse is. Things like this aren't taught in schools. So many people go through life with wounds that they cannot understand or explain, and therefore they cannot heal because they have been subjected to someone else's abuse. And they don't know they've been abused. And sometimes the abuser doesn't know that what they're doing is abuse. Abuse, these days or for the longest time has gone under the alias of tough love, discipline. That's just the way I am. If you know any common ones, then you can drop them in the comment section or you can drop them in the comments. But yeah, things like, oh, this is tough love. If I'm not tough with you, the world will be tough with you. And you bully your children into becoming shadows of themselves and replicas of you, but you call it tough love. Or like I said, this is just the way I am. Or I was just joking now. You can't take a joke. You're too sensitive. And all of those kinds of things. And so with this series, we're hoping that we go deep enough to help each and every one of us recognize what abuse looks like so that we can decipher whether we're experiencing it or, if you are that willing, whether we're doing it to others. This episode, we're going to be focusing on what emotional abuse looks like. All right, let's move quickly on to dismissal of feelings. Emotionally abusive people, like we have said before, don't like being held accountable. They want to do whatever they want to do, no matter how it affects others. They don't want to have to either bear the consequences of it, take responsibility for it, be held accountable, or be made to make amends for it, right? So one of the ways that they do this is they dismiss your feelings. So your boyfriend, your girlfriend has done something she shouldn't do. In fact, you know what? Let's not even. Boyfriend and girlfriend sitting down, having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. Boyfriend has said to girlfriend, this is our quality time. Girlfriend has looked forward to this for such a long time. Like, oh, I know that Saturdays are my days with my man, right? Then your man goes and his friends say, oh, guy, let's go play football. He goes and plays the football. You don't stop him. He goes, he plays the football. Comes back. You're like, baby, I need to talk to you. Today was supposed to be the day that we spend time together. And I felt very dismissed. I felt very unimportant because you just shelved our quality time and you went and played football with your friends. You didn't even bother asking me if I was okay with it. If your boyfriend is abusive, he's going to be like, but at least we spent an hour together now. If you're not aware of what's going on, your mind will say, it's true, Sha. Maybe I'm asking for too much. But let me tell you what's actually going on. This person has taken how you feel and your expression of how you feel, and they have done this. They've put it aside and said, we will not focus on that. We will focus on something else instead. Something that is less threatening to me, something that doesn't disturb my own equilibrium, something that doesn't force me to take accountability for my behavior, something that doesn't make me take responsibility for the rubbish that I've done. Your feelings to the side. So if you feel like when you tell your partner something is hurting me, or I didn't like this thing, or this is not the right way to do things, and by the time you're done with that conversation, what you hear is, no, but, yes, I've heard you, but there's something wrong there. When you're having a conversation with someone and they're listening to you, they take on what you said. Even when they're responding, their response mirrors what you have said. There is a part of what you have said that will be in their response. When you say A and your partner is responding Z, like you didn't say anything at all, that is a dismissal. That's a dismissal of your emotions, of your feelings. Another way that feelings are dismissed is when a person does something they shouldn't do or says something they shouldn't say, and you call them out on it, and they say something like, I was only joking now. Like, can't you take a joke? Like, stop being so sensitive. Why are you so sensitive? Oh, you're so emotional. It seems, and it's something that a lot of us do. That is actually emotional abuse, because you're dismissing the way this person feels, and we're all entitled to feel our feelings. So if you tell a person, I don't like it, and their first response is, but I was only joking now. Or, can't you take a joke? Or, your own is too much, your wahala is too much. Or they tell you, sorry, madam. You, if it's not your way, it's the highway. Especially if you've communicated that to them in a healthy, non-threatening, respectful way. That's a dismissal of your feelings. Another thing that is emotional abuse, undermining your self-esteem. If there's one thing that abusive people will do, they will attack your self-esteem. I say this to people now. I didn't used to say it before, but when a man wants to know what your insecurities are right out the gate, it's actually a red flag. I'm serious. When he asks you directly, what are your insecurities? It's a red flag. And I'll tell you why. A healthy man or a healthy woman, they want to get to know you in your entirety. They don't want to just know what your insecurities are. So they don't bother asking you what you're insecure about. They get to know you, and in getting to know you, they discover, oh, this person is sensitive to this. Oh, this is a soft spot for this person. Oh, this is a trigger for this person. And because they have good intentions towards you, they will bring up the conversation and say, hey babe, I noticed when I said this, you reacted like this. Is it something that we can talk about? Your partner says, yeah. A healthy man or a healthy woman takes note of that, and they're like, so I know where this person hurts. I'm going to be a source of salve, a source of healing, a soft landing for this person in this area. But you see, when a person goes straight, boom, so tell me, what are your insecurities? The answer should be, what are your own? Because, like I said, a healthy man or woman with good intentions for you wants to know all of you. And they are willing to know all of you over a period of time. All of you is inclusive of your insecurities, but it's also of the things that you are good at, and the things that you are sure of, and the things that you are secure about, and the things about you that are amazing. And they are probably even more interested in those than the other things. So when an abusive person wants to undermine your self-esteem or break down your self-esteem, they're going to go straight for those insecurities that you thought you were sharing with someone who is a normal person. You thought you were sharing with someone who wants to hold you in safety. They were taking that information to put in their arsenal so that when they need to control you, when they need to break you down, when they need to make you feel foolish, when they need to make you feel less than, they can go and pull those things like arrows out of a quiver, put it in the bow of their mouth or their actions, and pull it and go right directly for the heart because they know where this gets you. So, a piece of advice: you don't ever lead in any relationship with the things that you're insecure about, if you have any insecurities. You lead with all of you and take your time. A lot of us, especially women, we reveal too much about ourselves way too early, before you've gotten to know if this person is a normal human being or not. I had an encounter with one joker recently, and he tried to play all the tricks in the book to get me to be physically intimate with me. And he was getting angry and frustrated with me because I wasn't going to let him do that. And then one day, in some ditch, he's like a last ditch attempt, he now says, "What are your insecurities?" I almost laughed. I almost burst out laughing. I was like, look at this joker. No, look at this actual joker. This is a man or a boy, because men don't behave like that, who I had told repeatedly, I am not getting in a physical relationship with you. That is not how we start. That's how we finish. That's not how we start. Multiple times, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He kept trying. And with everything he tried, he would try to be nice to me and then try and sleep with me, and I'd say nope. He would try to be mean to me and try to sleep with me, I would say nope. He would try to manipulate me, then try to sleep with me, I would say no. And then this one, he was like, okay, you know what? This guy literally tried everything. She said, "Are you insecure about your body?" I said, "Look at this Ode. I have a gorgeous body." Okay. So he goes, "What?" He literally tried. "Are you insecure about your work?" I said, "No, I'm not." There was a night he was trying to he was trying to get me drunk. He doesn't know that we were drinking wine, and then he's like, "So tell me, what are your insecurities?" And it was all I could do not to burst into riotous laughter that night. And I wanted to tell him, "Sweetheart, I'm not the one." Just like, not the one. And my answer to him was, I don't have any insecurities. I think that whatever it is a flaw about a person can be turned into a strength. And his immediate response was, "Oh yeah, that's true. I don't have any insecurities either." Forgetting that he had, in one of his attempts to try to get me in bed, he told me a slew of the things that he was insecure about. That is a sign that you're dealing with an emotionally abusive person. They want to take information from you so that they can use that information to break your self-esteem down. When a person attacks your character, when a person goes for the jugular and they take things that you have told them that were important to you and they use those things against you, that is a sign of emotional abuse. When a person undermines what you do, criticizes the way you look, nothing you do is ever good enough, they elevate other people over you, these are all tactics to break your self-esteem down, and that is emotional abuse. Another thing that's emotional abuse is using guilt as a weapon. Now we talked about emotional manipulation or emotional blackmail. Using guilt as a weapon is emotional blackmail, but this is a distinct kind of emotional blackmail. So let's say you have a parent, or you have a sibling, or you have a friend, or you have a partner who wants you to do things their way. This is their ultimate goal. It's not that they want what is best for you, it's that they want you to not jeopardize in any way or alter in any way the control they have over you. So, you want to do A, they want B. And for whatever reason, you are bold enough and insane enough to insist on doing what you want to do, because guess what? You're not a slave. They come at you with, this is one of the reasons. In fact, I have a story, a real life story that I might share. See, this is one of the reasons why men don't share with women, because When a man is vulnerable with a woman, she uses it to cut him down. Going back to the example that I gave about the joker that that really thought he had come in contact with a mumu, right? One of the angles was, I've opened myself up to you, but you are holding yourself back from me. Completely ignoring the fact that this woman has said, I don't do sex outside of a committed relationship. Disrespecting that completely, right? They go for guilt. Now, the reason that an emotional abuser will go for guilt is because one of our natural instincts, if you are a healthy, mentally healthy person or mentally normal person, when someone says you've hurt me, your instinct is to fix it. When someone says this is not, this affects me or bothers me, your instinct is to do right by them. Guilt is something that is, I believe, God put inside of all of us to help navigate our behavior, so that when you do what you're not supposed to do, that guilt will kick in and it will serve as a corrective measure, a way to help you pivot and fix that situation because it was the wrong thing. Now, abusive people take that sensibility in all of us and they weaponize it and they use it against you. So they know that you'll feel guilty if they throw a statement at you like, I told you that my father was never present. I told you that my father was absent out of my life. And all I asked was for you to let's say your girlfriend was trying to isolate you and didn't want you to spend the holidays with your family. All I asked was for you to spend the holidays with me because my father never spent the holidays with us. Anyway, I guess we're not as tight as I thought. I guess we're not really the team that I thought we were. But you know what? Clearly, your family is way more important. Their opinions are way more important than me and than this relationship. But it's fine. I get it. Like, it's not even a problem. It's cool. It's cool. No, it's good. It's good. And then after they say it's good, they proceed to make sure that you know life is absolutely not good. Another way that using guilt as a weapon shows up is, I'll talk about parents. Very important. Your mother does something she shouldn't do. Your father does something he shouldn't do or says something he shouldn't say. And you don't even call him out for it. You don't even call them out. You just decide, I'm just going to ignore it. Next thing that happens is this. Family meeting has been called on your head. You see, this, after everything I did to make sure this child went to school, after everything I sacrificed, I spent money that I didn't have to make sure that you could go to school. And all I was asking you to do was so, and you can't do it for your own mother. May God in heaven never let you experience what you are putting me through. Meanwhile, what it is that your mother wants you to do completely goes against you. Maybe it hurts you. Maybe it undermines your own authority. That's not her business. That's not his business. Their concern is my way or the highway. You do what I want. And if you don't do what I want, I will use any measure at my disposal to make sure you come back into line. That is how you use guilt as a weapon. Another thing that is emotional abuse, and we're going to speed this along, is threatening self-harm or threatening to harm another person. Ladies, let me just say this one to us directly. If a man ever throws something, bangs something, starts to speed up in the car because he's angry, that's a bad sign. That is a sign of someone who does not have control of themselves, their impulses, or their emotions, and a person who will use fear to control you. So they didn't hit you, they hit the wall beside your head. They didn't yell at you, they were screaming around in the house. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. So anyways, I just wanted to say that, please, take note of behavior like that. And if you can catch it early, get out early. All right, so when a person threatens to harm themselves, of course, situation has gone bad because of something they've done. You're trying to hold them accountable. Next thing, I'm just going to myself. If you leave me, I will myself. I remember when so and so and so did this and I nearly them. I don't take that kind of shit. If you try me, don't even try me, because if you try it, what you see in my hand, you will never believe it. When a person threatens to harm you or threatens to harm themselves because you are being you, or you decide that you've had enough of their bullshit, bad sign. That is emotional abuse. If even during a fight or an argument, a simple argument, this person starts to do things like, I beg you, please, carry your things out, go, because they are already showing you that all is not very correct upstairs. Please. They start to hit themselves, or somebody takes something and takes, I can't do. Please, this is 2024. Life is lifing. The economy is economy. You have enough problems to deal with. You do not want to deal with someone who threatens to hurt themselves, or worse still, you, to keep you under their control. Moving along. These are some examples of emotional abuse. There's so many other things, and I can go on and on and on, but I want to try to keep these videos under an hour. And so I cannot say everything, but if any of these things sound familiar to you, if you're experiencing any of these things, you're being emotionally abused. If you are doing any of these things, you are emotionally abusing others. I think that this is a good place to land this plane. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate you being a part of this fast-growing community of ours. I hope that these thoughts have been somewhat helpful for you, and if they have, I ask that you please share them with someone else that you think would be helpful to as well. All right, you know what time it is. Sign off with your girl. In life, we can always do better or we can do worse. Let us try to be in the former more than we are in the latter. Stay safe out there in those relationship streets. Make sure that you're not bamboozling or being bamboozled by your bae. I will see you again in the next episode. Until then, please let love guide you always. Bye for now.